something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was. Then you come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
In the year 2022, nothing runs anymore, nothing works, but the people are the same, and the people will do anything to get what they need. In the year 2022.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. A friend of mine sent me this, and this obviously ties in with what I've been talking about a lot recently with the food shortages, wink, wink. The whole pandemic, everything that they're doing is tying into all the agendas being pretty much pushed down our throats all at the same time. We all know that there was going to be something where there was going to be multiple things occurring to force people into being dependent on Big Brother to feed them. Yes, to feed them. And what they're doing right now is double. They are claiming of a shortage of food around the world. Oh, there's not enough food. Somehow, this is correlating with, of course, tying into global warming. I mean, global jamming. And it's, of course, tying into everything that's going on with the outbreak. Right? Those types of things, they can just say it without even explaining it. People just go, oh, that's the reason for the food shortage. Apparently, there's no there's no rain, nothing's growing. I mean, I know that they're sun shielding, and I know that they're dumping bale from the sky on us, barium and aluminum. But the simple fact remains this. This is happening in two ways. One, starting with a food shortage, wink, wink, that they tell everyone is occurring. You see shortages in the stores. And then everything else goes in the opposite direction. The things that are there, they are pricing people out of the market. It's another version of a smokeout. But is it a coincidence? It all starts with Taco Bell, which of course I always like to crack jokes about Taco Bell, because Taco Bell will give you the runs literally, but Taco Bell is right in the front here, and it has to be something like Taco Bell, McDonald's. It needs to be one of these mainstream places because they need to be able to at least affect people from a mental capacity. They can't just go, well, now there's a shortage at the grocery store of a certain fruit, because then somebody's like, all right, I'll get another fruit. Or there's a shortage of a certain meat. All right, I'll get chicken instead of getting steak. It works perfectly with shortages at places that people know, which are convenient places, which are big companies, where they think, oh, if there's a shortage of Taco Bell, oh my gosh, then there's going to be a shortage where I am, then there's going to be a shortage of McDonald's, then there's going to be a shortage everywhere, we're not going to be able to eat. But don't worry, that's part of the plan, because Big Brother's going to step in and feed you. But let's start with T-Bell.
Taco Bell lovers are always hungry for anything that crunches.
Cheesy fiesta potatoes, everything, yeah, we're all good.
But lately, some fast food fanatics aren't getting what they'd hoped for. There's an apology on Taco Bell's website explaining to customers that some favorites may be unavailable.
I heard something about that. Yeah, I don't know if maybe it's all the restaurants, but yeah, I definitely heard a couple restaurants here and there, shortage on food and everything.
The airports are pretty short and just in general, like there's very few food places. We all have to line up at the same food places, which is kind of ironic when we're not supposed to be near each other, but like there's only one place open to eat.
In a statement, Taco Bell, which is headquartered in Irvine, said that due to national transportation delays happening throughout most of the industry, we may temporarily be out of some items. Apologies for the inconvenience, and we hope to feed fans current Taco Bell cravings again soon.
Okay, so somehow T-Bell has a shortage of ingredients. They're not even real ingredients that they're using, and we have a shortage of that. And don't forget the soy burger agenda, the plant-based agenda here with the fake food. The other, of course, is the prices. You hear people constantly complaining of the prices. Oh my goodness, everything's so expensive at the grocery store. That's how they price you out of the market. They make it possible even for middle-class people to afford to feed a family. Meat suddenly goes from, $5 to $25 because there's a shortage, they tell you. This is how the entire thing ends up working. Create some fake events around it, create some, the weather, the warming, the weather, right? And the zombies fall right into line because, look, if the zombies are believing what's going on already with the outbreak, then this is a piece of cake to them. The food the new thing. The next thing, the price spike, already occurred. And what's after that? Well, that's the soy, but here's the price hike.
There's a price problem. The cost of food is going up at the grocery store and at your favorite restaurant. We're paying more for everything, from bakery items to meat.
And as WBZ's Christina Hager found out, restaurants are now forced to choose between charging more or eating that cost.
Have you noticed the cost of filling your fridge these days?
That the cost of produce, the cost of meat, deli, things that are prepared have gotten more expensive now.
Red meat for steak tips and steak was $7.35 a pound. Last week was $13.20 a pound.
Nick Rando owns ZD Trattoria. He says chicken prices are through the roof too.
So they haven't gone up, they've almost doubled.
Cereal and bakery products are up 5%. Fruit and vegetables, these are up 1%. Milk and dairy up 0.6%. And when you're buying in bulk, that can really add up.
Yeah, you see it at the register, but when you're buying like 300 pounds a week and all that, it starts to hurt.
So much, he has to raise prices on his menu to avoid operating at a loss.
We have seen prices that we've never seen before.
Jim Salikas runs Cousin's Maine Lobster, a national chain of lobster roll trucks, along with his sister Annie.
So we're just seeing this like continuing ramp up of demand on the entire lobster system.
Adding to the high demand for delicious food now, higher transportation costs and a shortage of workers. It all translates to higher prices for meals served.
Just the sign of the times. You know, prices go up, gas goes up, groceries go up.
Opening the door to an expensive summer of eating.
And then, of course, when you tie in the soy and everything else, and I say the soy, I'm talking about Soylent Green, the predictive programming in Soylent Green. For those of you who aren't familiar, I've obviously, most of you are aware, I've covered it millions of times. There's always comments in the comment section. I don't know, sometimes people watch the video and they don't listen. They're like, you didn't mention the Soylent Green. I mentioned it a million trillion times. Soylent Green, interestingly enough, the plot of Soylent Green takes place in 2022. That's the plot. Let me just read it to you. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like a predictive programming? By the year 2022, the effects of overpopulation, pollution, and some apparent climate catastrophe have caused severe worldwide shortages of food, water, and housing. I can't believe they were able to guess this when they made the movie in 1973. Boy, and we're really heading into 2022 next year, and everything is falling into place. But because of the climate, the overpopulation, of course, and the pollution,
Evan Mobley.
The third pick in the 2021 NBA draft.
Cavaliers will select Evan Mobley.
Got it. Confirming Evan Mobley from USC.
For us, like, this is an opportunity for you to show the best version of who you are. Like, we're not out here trying to put you in positions to fail or anything like that. Like, we're trying to put you in positions.
we have severe food and water shortages as well as housing. There are over 40 million people in New York alone where only the city's elite can afford spacious apartments, clean water, and natural food. And even then, at horrendously high prices. Boy, that sounds a lot like what I'm telling you here too. The homes of the elite usually include blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and then this is where they come in with the soil. Within the city, NYPD Detective Frank Thorne and his aged friend Sol Roth, I wonder what he is, a highly intelligent analyst referred to as Book. Roth remembers the world when it had animals and real food and possesses a small library of reference materials to assist Thorne. Thorne is tasked with investigating the execution of some person. Soylent Industries controls the food supply of half of the world and sells the brand of wafers, including Soylent Red and Soylent Yellow, but their latest product is far more flavorful and nutrition. Soylent Green, advertised as being made from ocean plankton. And then as the story goes, of course, people are rioting because they want the Soylent Green. The Soylent Green is people. Okay? None of these things are a coincidence. This plot, it literally sounds like I'm reading you the autobiography for the year 2021 and what's ahead for 2022. I mean, these are the blueprints. These are where these things come from. These are the things that they predictively program. They use sigil magic and all their nonsense as they prep it out and roll it all out. So now you have the shortage of food with Taco Bell, and I already talked about this with Starbucks and other places. They're going to continue to talk about it. It's not going to just overnight, everything's going to be gone. But this is how they condition you. It's how they conditioned with the mask. It's how they conditioned everyone to get on social media, start taking pictures of themselves, and to give up their own privacy, and to become their own celebrities in their own mind. This is everything that they've wanted to create has been created, and the people are the ones who are submitting to this system. This is not force via they're coming to your door. All these movies you've seen of, they're at the front door with a gun and people were having a picnic in the backyard and they weren't expecting it. And oh my goodness, where are we going? We're running, they're taking us away. It's all being done willingly and through mind control. Will they come to your door? And they don't even need to. What do they need to come to your door and force anyone to do? The rest of us who are here, who are not complying to this, all the other people out there who are between us and the elites are the ones who are going to force us to go into these places. Get them out of here. They're not jabbed. Get them out of here. They're not complying. What's next? They're going to say, oh, well, if you grow your own food, no, you're not allowed to. Because, the stuff they'll say you can't grow your own food because growing your own food is going to probably somehow spread the Delta as well. They could make up anything, they could pull anything out of their rear end, and these people believe it at this point. That's how bad it's gotten. That's how bad it's gotten. And you hear the plot from the movie. Does it sound familiar? As we see an increase all over the place in these soy burgers. Oh, we're all out of food. Because apparently food's not growing anymore, and apparently there's no animal seed. So we're all out of that stuff. But conveniently, thankfully, because of science, we have all this soy product. And luckily for us, it's so cheap to buy compared to everything else. Let's connect the dots. That's how it works, right? Oh, problem, reaction, solution. Here's your Soylent plant-based, aka fetus-based food. So the menu at Taco Bell is going to be light these days. This is the story that they've released. An apology offered by Taco Bell on its website. Sorry if we can't feature current crave due to national ingredient shortages and delivery delays. We may be out of some items. This isn't about, for those of you who, rely on the matrix, who believe in the system, who think capitalism, Taco Bell can't believe that this is happening to them. What are they going to do? Taco Bell's taking their orders just like all of them take their orders. Every one of them does what they're told. Like the men who line up for the Me Too movement. You didn't hear one of those guys who was accused of doing something defend himself. They all just apologize and take it up the rear, and their careers are over, and they let themselves become blacklisted. Taco Bell, they wouldn't come out and go, that's a myth. We don't have a food shortage. Well, we're working on it. It's a temporary problem. No, we've got a food shortage. We're so sorry. Come back in another date. Yeah, do you think that's how they would really do it if this wasn't all part of a plan? They're biting the bullet. All these places are. They're all in together working for the Tower of Babel for a new world order to be recreated. It's already here. It's just a matter of getting everyone on board to accept it or not. They know the people like us, they ain't going to touch us as far as getting us to fall into their mind control tactics. But why? Who are they going to get? Well, they've gotten all of the people who don't have brains in their head, who can't think for themselves, who actually are the most prideful ones, who don't realize they are so dumb that they're worthless not only to themselves, they're worthless to the elites, and they're worthless to us, and those people are just going to be disintegrated by the elites, the same people they're protecting and defending right now. And I can't feel sympathy for them because they're so obnoxiously prideful. It's embarrassing, and to me, I don't even know if I can consider most of these people human, because there's no functioning brain in their head. So how can I consider them more than a talking pile of manure? Because that's really what most of them are. But Taco Bell taking the bullet here. The people who are fighting and defending, they're like, oh, you know, Taco Bell's really having trouble here with the food shortage. What's the food shortage? What's the problem? Why is there a food shortage? Can somebody explain any of it? Or that's the explanation. That's the whole explanation. Every Taco Bell around the world. Oh, what's the, well, there's a shortage of hot sauce. There's a shortage of what? Make more. What's the problem? Oh, well, there's a shortage of plants. There's a shortage of plants. There's
There's an arms race going on. The weapon is land.
Fight us, and you lose.
I'm gonna stop you.
This valley's mine. You think you're winning this game? You don't even know the rules.
shortage of animals, but we all know Taco Bell doesn't use real meat anyway. None of these places do, so that's not shouldn't be a problem either. This is how it works, and for the people who they're trying to get to continue to suck into this, a lot of them are the people in the queue. That's right, and I know some of you are. Well, it's the last ingredient you need to overcome. Okay, it's the political ingredient. It should be the easiest, it's become the hardest. Most people I talk to, they say, well, you have to have hope in something. Well, put your hope in Christ and not in man, period. Because you're going to get disappointed, you're going to get left at the altar. That's how this whole thing is ending for everyone in the queue. You're all going to be talked into this stuff. Don't you love how they're like, you know, oh, the alt-right Fox News and stuff. And, you know, Fox News is like, oh, we're accusing Fox News. They're not, you know, they're not talking about enough people getting jabbed. Oh, and then all of a sudden, oh, did you know that all the people at Fox News already were? They're just trying to play to Paul. If Fox News or any of these places was real, they wouldn't be talking about China. These are all mainstream narratives. There's nothing going on. They want the potion in your body. The potion is the end game, period. And the other agendas around it, like this. Are they talking about this, the food shortage and why? And what's to come? Big Brother is going to be the do-all, end-all. Everything is going to be dependent on Big Brother. The same way that all these cupcakes go crying to Big Brother for cancel culture and censorship, they're going to cry to them for food. They're going to cry to them for their internet. They're going to cry to them for all of it. And that's where it's going to all come from, Big Brother. So they will do whatever Big Brother says. And when Big Brother's ready to dispose of them, they will. Because they don't care about them. Think the devil cares about these people? He's laughing at how stupid they are. They're useless to him too, but they're serving a small purpose right now, which is being in between us and the elites. This friction of the left, right, and all this stuff, it's all, well, all these dominoes fall, like the food shortage, like the weather manipulation, like getting everybody to put this in their body, the racial division, all of these things are all parts of the dominoes in their game that are all just tipping onto each other. And they're just, everyone's just falling flat like dominoes with it. While they're sitting up there in the mountains laughing. Oh, food shortage, we don't need to really explain it. We'll just tell them there's one and everyone will believe it. And then they'll have to come to us. Or they'll have to eat our soy product. We'll get men more estrogened up. Oh, Cole, you're wrong about that. It's really great for you. The plant, it's made in a chemical lab. Imagine being in science class in 7th grade. Hey, what are we doing today? Oh, we're going to mix some aluminum here and this, and we're going to make burgers. Oh, and that's pretty much how they make these Frisbees, and people eat them. And then they crap out their organs. Pretty unbelievable, but this is it. The food shortage, you'll continue to hear this narrative. Sorry I went on a rant a little off track. But all this stuff happening at once, I mean, it's so hard to even, you know, it's a lot to take in. I mean, but I mean, obviously I've been prepared for it, talking about it for a long time. I just can't believe the people who refuse to see it. It's amazing to me, but we're the last ones really in line here to, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we all need to do. A lot of helping of other people as far as waking up and seeing this stuff, but there's so many lost causes already, as you see, who just do not get this at all. And they think that they get it, which makes it harder to wake them up. Pretty much impossible to wake them up. But I've got to try to reach as many people who don't see what's going on and hopefully help wake them up. And hopefully you guys are doing that too. Check out the website at callforuprising.com. post your stuff over there, share your info, share your channel. I hope to see everybody over there. That's where I'll be. Of course, when all this stuff goes down on the internet, obviously for the time being, I'm still here on YouTube. I have other channels. Make sure you sub to them. I give a pat on the back to all the patrons out there because of you. It helps me make 2 to 3 videos every day and continue to do what I can to help wake people up. I know a lot of people have left YouTube. Can't blame them. This is the path that I'm taking, to stay on here, at least be a voice on here, instead of being on another platform where you can't reach really many people. I mean, there's not a lot of kids who are like, hey, I'm on BitChute, you know? It's hard even for people to find the videos too. I get it, but there's just more people here to reach who are completely lost, and the generations below us, they're the ones who need us the most right now. So anyway, I want to thank the patrons. I thank all of you guys for listening. I appreciate all of you greatly. God bless you and your families.